Hey fam, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another reaction. This is Segovia coming to you live from the man cave. We got a good reaction coming up today, y'all. Some creepy TikToks that we're gonna get into. I ain't gonna talk your guys' ears off. I'm gonna save that for the end of the episode, so be sure to stick around. But hey, enough with the chit chat. Let's get into the reaction.
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing shit different. He lined up D-Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and took his love. Lined up R. Kelly. He wants to be the one.
Yeah, shout out D-Haven. He actually hit us up, wanted to tell this story.
You need to talk to D-Haven.
Yeah, we need to talk to him.
I told you that last year when I put you on the phone with him.
You did.
And then got ran into and then I got thrown in a hospital by my insane husband who's working for YouTube to make his mama proud.
So wait, Jag, I'm just curious because with Diddy...
You mean?
With Diddy settling within 24 hours, which has never been heard of, 30 million, or the lawsuit was 30, undisclosed amount. But
he knew for 30 days that shit was fitting to happen.
Within 24 hours.
He could have paid that 30 million before.
Yeah, why?
Please rise for our national anthem.
Open up the safe, bitches got a lot to say.
Somebody got fired.
Yo, you want to see something cool? No? Well, I'm gonna do it anyway.
Let's go ahead and dive right into this here. Alright, so first and foremost, let's peep the date. May 16th, 2023. Alright. So as we all discovered already, now we see that this is great value. Okay, cool. So for those of you who are gonna say, oh well, it's great value, and whatever, keep it. Cause listen, bread is not supposed to do what this bread is doing.
Okay, the fact that it's great value, I think the majority of the population here in America, right? Some people, they know they get, I don't eat a lot of bread. If I do get a loaf of bread, I'll get like some low calorie bread, right? But the majority of the people that don't care about that, they get this. They get the great value brand because it's the cheapest, right? There's a reason it's the cheapest. Let's get into it. Let's see what this guy's got to say about this bread.
The way it goes. All right. So, as we already saw, the date on this is May 16th. So, if the expiration date on this is May 16th, it's safe to say that I purchased this bread at least a month prior, right? Let's get right into it. Apparently, I don't even know how to open the bread.
I always throw that damn thing away. Never use those.
We're just gonna pull one out and examine it. You guys, I've been holding on to this bread all of this time, conducting an experiment. Y'all, this bread is not stink. It's not molded. That's not even mold. That's just bread. It's not molded. It's still soft. Look at my fingerprint in it. Like at this point, I didn't need it. Like, bro, I just put a smiley face in the bread. That's crazy. Like, the bread is just... Yo, what are these people feeding us, man? What are they feeding us? This bread should be molded. And not only that, but it was sitting on top of the microwave. We already know bread sitting on top of the microwave that actually gets used yeah. Yo, this bread is like, look, bread is not molded, bro. basically just soft bread. Like, this is crazy.
So this is what's happening in Dubai now. Because they're messing around with that cloud storm thing.
Look at this. They're not only creating the rain, they're creating lightning, thunder.
Messing around with the rain.
The more I get into these TikToks,
UK's messing around as well with the rain.
the more the Truman Show
nice 1 minute and then the next it's not.
seems legit. Now I'm talking over this guy because you can't really understand him, so.
I love that lightning though. That's sick.
It's crazy. It's like the Truman Show, y'all. I watched it. You guys got me to watch it, and I really tripped out on it. This is the Truman Show.
Time lapse. This is real. I've never seen this much lightning in my life before. This is crazy.
Messing around with the weather because they fucking paid millions to do it.
Right. I've told this story before about Robin Williams. One of the biggest impacts I took off of that set for Mrs. Doubtfire was the fact that when he was on. When he was off, it was really a bad experience for him. You know, he'd come off stage, go into his room, and everybody would just be like, that's Robin's space. But I was 11 or 12 years old. I didn't have that space boundary. And every time I opened the door, you'd see a guy that comes off the set like beaming with more energy than I've ever, and anybody has ever seen.
They gave me 2 black beauties. I took them and I went, oh, sure, because in those days, yeah, whatever, fine, let's do it. And then the weird thing is you're up and you're up and you're up, but when you crash, even the devil's going, dude, this is not going to go well.
And then I'd open the door, and this is what I'd get. It was so painful for him just to sit there and have quiet. So he explained to me what was going on. I don't care what doctors say. I know it did it to my brain, Matt. There were 5 years there where I lived on cocaine. After those 5 years of cocaine, even though I got off and I got clean, it chemically changed my brain. Yeah, and now I have to deal with this shit.
Government just released, apparently by accident, the Project Aqua stuff. Did you see this?
No. What's that? Retrieving data across dimensional space-time, develop remote viewing comms and countermeasures, determine baseline for physical transport across dimensional space-time barrier, rapid response medical teams for UFO interaction events. So how did they do this accidentally? Study conscious interactions with and control of technology.
So I got this from someone in the U.S. government who's well, look, let me just start by saying I don't know anything, but he sent me this. The above is 100% legit. I was read into this program but told never to tell anyone. It's now been released. As you can see, it began as a result of my old program, AATIP. I signed a document saying I would never talk about Kona Blue and similar efforts. I can't believe the AARO would have released it. Look,
Yeah.
I mean, here's what we do know is that there's enough going on in the skies, but not just the skies, underwater, that the U.S. military has been forced to respond to it. So, like, move aircraft from one place to another because there are too many of these objects in the sky. That's actually happened. Chris Mellon just wrote a long piece about it. So it's real. The government is not controlling it. In fact, it's forcing the government, DOD, to respond. And we know that there is a real effort and has been underway for a long time to keep the public from knowing about it. But that's all known. That's established. I don't think any rational person would deny that. The question is, like, what is it actually? I mean, now is sort of the point you have to ask, like, what is this?
There's theory. Okay, so it's been going on forever, right? They've been knowing about this, but why in 2024 are they starting to put this stuff out? It's like it's strategic because they know if they put this stuff out in 1995, there's going to be everyone's going to freak out, right? But they're just militant with it. They put it out in 2024 because they know we're so distracted that we just don't, nobody even cares, right? Like at the end of the day, nobody even cares. We're just going on about our day. So because we're just so overfilled maybe with this TikTok and Instagram, our minds are so stimulated with stuff like this on the daily 24/7 that now they release things and we don't even get angry, we don't get upset. They just did a bill to Ukraine for 60 some billion. Nobody cares, right? Some people make a couple TikToks, we do some reactions, but at the end of the day, nobody cares, right? Because we don't got no control over it until we come together. That's why they're dividing us so much with these wars, with everything down to our phones. I've had girls say, I can't talk to you because you have an Android. I got an Apple now, but when I had an Android, like, I can't talk to you. Like, that's how they're keeping us distracted, and that's why they get away with giving 60 billion away, because we're so divided, y'all. People don't wake up and see it. Even people that watch these videos, like, they're divided in the comment section, right? That's what I'm trying to do, wake people up, and they call me a government shill for that.
Is that the government can control the weather and make it rain or do whatever they want, right?
Oh, they can control the weather. They can make clouds. They can make it rain. I mean, seeding clouds has been around since Vietnam. And right now, of course, you know, with the different machines that they have, they can take a plane up into the sky. They can release different types of particulates into the air, upper atmosphere, which can reflect the sunlight back into space. So they're doing this cooling planet type of a project, which is really having some catastrophic effects. I mean, look, LA used to be nice and warm. I used to go to LA in February with a t-shirt. Now you can't go there with a t-shirt any time of the year. Forget it.
Yeah.
It's over. For the first time in Miami, we had a winter. It got down to the 40s and 50s throughout December, which is kind of strange.
Super weird.
And it's like we don't get cold until February for 2 weeks.
It just rained here for 2 weeks in Vegas. I was like, that's never happened before in
Vegas. The
Vegas.
weather's all screwed up, but they're dropping aluminum, barium, and strontium into the upper atmosphere. You can actually Google geoengineering contracts. Anyone can do that. And if you have a plane and you fit the criteria, you can then sign up and register with most governments to become a person that can actually go and spray these particulates into the air.
That's crazy.
And eerie about this election cycle. Have you noticed what it is? I've been following elections since a very young age, about the age of 12, which I know is quite strange. But around that age, I started to get very interested in politics and follow every presidential cycle very closely. So this is now the 5th one I've been through, paying close attention. And I've noticed something extremely odd. First thing I've noticed is we are well into the season. We are very close. And there is no campaigning going on. None whatsoever. And I've also noticed that the news cycle is not dominated by the story of this election. Which begs the question, do they anticipate that they need to campaign for it? It almost seems as if they already know the end before the beginning. It's almost as if they're not even concerned at all about the outcome because they already know what the outcome is going to be. There's something going on. And to me, it's quite obvious.
But we were filming a movie.
I agree.
I know this isn't your responsibility, but just mop the rest of this shit up. I'll be right back. And he also had a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
From HBO and or not HBO, Comedy Central and all this shit, right?
The worst bunch of people on earth.
Horrid.
Mm-hmm.
He then, while he was on the show,
and yada yada yada.
Funny episode.
This is not the first time I've tasted penis. I've had several in my line of work.
When it was blowing up, and we remember the Aspen Comedy Festival? I don't know.
Yeah, that was fun. I did that too.
He came there, and he was freaked out.
Yeah.
I said, what's going on? And all I could say is he was visited.
Yeah. That's what I think too.
And when he told me who visited him, my heart stopped.
And we are about to Morse code SOS across the border.
It totally sucks. We saw you, we got the message, but we really can't do anything. Since 2021, we're not allowed to do anything. Since January 6th, we know that we're not allowed to do anything. Also, you're not on the approved countries list. You're not Ukraine or Israel, so we can't send any sort of aid or anything because we don't do that anymore under this tyrannical administration. So, yeah, we're really just trying to hang on and help ourselves a little bit, and they're taking everything away from us. I mean, well, you guys gonna have TikTok in 6 months? Because we probably won't. I'm really, really sorry. We saw you and noted. That sucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah, y'all, did y'all hear the news? TikTok that they passed the bill, making it official. If they don't change ownerships, it's done here. So, God works in mysterious ways. You know, I haven't been enjoying these TikTok things. I'm not really a fan of being the TikTok guy, but you guys love them. But we may have to move forward with it, and I hope you guys support the channel still, and you know, we'll get into some interesting things. But anyways, y'all, let's get back to the reaction.
Billion for Ukraine. We're borrowing 80,000 per second, $4.6 million a minute. The generals and the officials in Ukraine are buying beach houses all over the world with the money. There's no oversight.
Somebody from Ukraine went to, I think it was Monaco. They were looking at all of the supercars, the hypercars, all of them Ukrainian license plates. This is theft of the American people's money.
And they want to do another $60 billion.
At least 33 cents of every dollar we send over does not make it to anyone.
It's going to beach houses and things.
Yeah, it's going to corruption.
Here we go.
Crazy, y'all. We need to change. I think if the blue side wins again, another 4 years, we won't make it. We won't make it. We're already not who we used to be. I think everyone can see it. We're kind of the joke. We're the joke of the world now, right? When we were the powerhouse. And I know me saying that in the comments, people are going to be saying you guys were never the powerhouse. We were the powerhouse, right? We ran it. At the end of the day, we ran it. Military-wise, all that. No one can mess with us, right? But now we're the joke. And because we let these 80, 90-year-old politicians run the country, y'all. And it's our own damn fault.
Again, another $95 billion about to go to Ukraine, Taiwan, and Israel. You might be thinking, Trevor, haven't you said this before? Why do you keep remaking the same video? Because that's how much money we're sending. It happens like every week. Just in case you're curious, that $95 billion is not Joe Biden's money, and that's not the government's money. That's our money. Yeah, that's the taxpayers' money. That's your money, and that's my money that they're sending over there. And for what reason are we sending $95 billion to Ukraine? I have no idea. Ukraine's not even in NATO. What do we care about Ukraine? And I think the funniest thing is that bill to send all of that money overseas, Congress was just like, oh yeah, we're going to throw the TikTok ban in there as well. I mean, that's the most United States government thing to do. Like, oh yeah, let's send $95 billion of our taxpayer money overseas to a country that's not even a part of NATO. And let's also just throw in banning TikTok in there. Let's just ban TikTok. Let's $95 billion and ban TikTok. And let's just do that. That makes sense. What are you doing?
It's one of the things. You know what's crazy though? Like I said, like I think for one, nobody cares, right? That dude saw an opportunity and made a TikTok. At the end of the day, with that TikTok, does he care about the money we're sending over? No, he cares about the money he's going to make from that TikTok, right? We're all screwed up as a society. And that's why they keep us divided. In every little thing you can think of, we're divided, right? Everything you can think of, down to our sports teams, down to our phones, down to our neighborhoods, down to our skin color, down to the brands of our clothes, right? If I'm wearing some Shaq shoes and I go play basketball, I'm gonna get clowned on for that, right? And they make these Shaq shoes that cost, let's say, $20 at Walmart, are made in the same factory that 300 pair of Michael Jordan shoes are made, right? And that's how divided we are, y'all. That's until that changes, which they got a hold of everybody, even us conspiracy theorists. They got a hold of us too, y'all. They still got a hold of us. There's some smart people. They're years ahead of us, and that's the only thing that's gonna make a change until we say, you know what, enough of this division. We're coming together, and we're gonna go march as one, right? It's us versus them. Until that happens, this is gonna keep happening, and we ain't gonna do nothing about it.
Things I find most striking is the presence of Antarctica on ancient maps, because we didn't discover it until 1820, and yet it's on maps drawn in the 1500s with great detail, which again were based on much older source maps that have now been lost to us. The astonishing thing is the so-called Pinkerton world map, drawn I think in 1813 or 1818, based on the latest exploration data at that time. And where Antarctica is, it just shows a hole where Antarctica is.
Crazy.
Because it was an honest map. Nobody had found it by then. But if you go back to, for example, the Wolsey-Wooler world map drawn in 1530 or thereabouts, you find Antarctica is present. The Orontius Phineas map. That map shows Antarctica exactly where it should be. And it shows it, there we go, right-hand side. There's Antarctica at the tip of South America, just south of South Africa.
And what did they call it back then?
Well, they call it the Southern Land. And it's larger than it is today, but it was larger than it is today during the Ice Age. Antarctica was a much bigger. Now, what the is it doing on a map drawn in the 1500s, which we know was based on older source maps when nobody knew it existed in the 1500s? To me, the obvious answer is we are dealing with the fingerprints of the lost civilization that mapped the world and that left evidence of that mapping, which ancient map makers found and used and incorporated into their map.
All right, family, there you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed the reaction. I've been kind of MIA lately. I've been going through it, y'all. I've been going through it. I'm actually in the process of getting back into getting a valet trash business going. When I was in Arizona, I was going hard for it. Didn't land. When I moved out here to Texas, I was very close. But then the YouTube started taking off, and I was like, you know what? I think I'd rather do YouTube than deal with the stress of, you know, being a business owner. But I think I'm gonna get back into it, y'all. You know, I got a passion for it. I got a passion for, you know, doing stuff like that. So I'm gonna get going with that, but I'm also gonna be doing YouTube uploads, y'all. I know a couple of comments were saying, like, you know, that you guys can tell I've been probably going through it. You know, I've been getting some comments, and one comment that stuck with me is like, you know, something in these words, like, just keep going for us, like, you know, keep posting these videos for us. And that kind of struck me, and I was like, you know what, I got to keep putting these out. We're going to be putting 4 uploads, probably 2 of these type of videos, some creepy TikToks, and then 2 videos to deal with like inflation. I did a video I put together that's going to be up later in the week, talking about food, how the food is killing us, and you know, I'm real passionate about that type of stuff, so we're gonna be getting into some of those too. So yeah, hope you guys keep rocking with me, and this is Segovia. Hope you guys had a good weekend and have a good Sunday. I'm signing out of the man cave. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow on Monday with another reaction, y'all. See you guys then. Later.